So, volume and singing, that's what this film is all about, and it's something we frequently forget to think about or run out of time to do. How do we sing with different volume, and how do we make sure that everyone again agrees about it? Well, for me and for all of us here at Friday Afternoons, we think that the best way to do that is by visualizing, having something that everyone can agree on and understand. Placing our hands down on our abdomen is the first step, so Emily and I are going to have a little bit of fun with our dynamic globe, our volume globe. People used to work this way, but I think that makes them suddenly think about singing with their throat and maybe getting stuck in their larynx. So why don't we move our hands left and right? All the way back down is our piano, the quietest we could sing, maybe pianissimo, and then enjoy moving our hands this way. It's something you can conduct, but crucially something your singers can also do with you, as long as they don't do it in their performance. Let's have a go. Just listen to me first. Have a practice on an ooh vowel because it's very easily controllable, and of course you can then feel the work on your abdomen. Should we do it together? And Emily's got a much better diminuendo than me. And that's one of the big questions, is how do you sing quietly? So many of us tend to drop our posture and panic and sometimes even slow down. Would you say so?
I would say it's a common problem confusing a quieter dynamic with a tempo change.
Yeah.
And I often find that when I'm asking somebody to sing quietly, suddenly all the energy goes out of the singing. And I just wondered if you found that this helps keep some of that energy and forward momentum even when singing really quietly.
I think it does, because they're focusing on something, again, completely different. It's a little bit of a distraction, and they don't have the time to slow down and be lazy with their tempi or their consonants. But crucially, when we do sing quieter, you almost need more airflow. So try to make sure that your singers aren't shutting down air as a means to sing quieter. By doing that, we're just, again, placing our hands by our abdomen and making sure that we're still in touch with our airflow. Let's try that again. And noticed even at the quietest moment, we were still really concentrating. We didn't suddenly just give up. And with that in mind, this is a million miles away from that kind of gesture, where if you ask your singers to be quiet like that, they're going to just disconnect and possibly even collapse. Would you agree?
I think it's a really good point. I've not thought about it before, that actually this sort of means like shush in terms of energy as well, but actually this is far more explicit in terms of a musical gesture and keeps the frame, which seems a really nice idea.
Absolutely, and maybe even suggests take care of this quieter sound.
Protect that sound and also support that sound.
Indeed.
Hold on to it, don't just let your body do a big floppy thing.
Absolutely.
I have another one that I use when I'm working with choirs, again, to try and get the idea of a shared dynamic.
Right.
And that is to pretend that we are a human amplifier. So get children to imagine that there is a guitar amplifier in the room and that is them. And the guitar amplifier has got a volume setting on it from 0 up to 10. You can crank it up to 11 if you want, if you've really got to go for it. And we're going to try and establish a shared sense of where we are as a group within that dial. So across the whole group, where is 5? What is the middle sound where we're just going to be singing? So if we were just to pick a sort of what we considered a normal average dynamic sound, what would that be? We'll use the same note. This ooh. What would you go for your 5? Off you
My
go.
5. Ooh. Is that about right?
Yeah, I would be in agreement with you.
Notice though that we're talking about it and thinking about it for the first time, and until that moment, everyone has different opinions.
Absolutely, and everybody's 5 will be ever so slightly different, but coming up with one across the group is great. And then getting children to conduct what numbers of dynamics you would like to have a go at. So a child holding up 10 fingers, what does that sound like? Obviously, the caveat here is always about healthy technique, so that suddenly everybody at 10's not just going rah and being all stressed and tense, but that you're maintaining all of the things that you've been working on, your alignment and your airflow, but that we get a really strong sense of what a strong fortissimo sound would be like at number 10. And it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. It is about this vocal play and actually experimenting with sound, getting children to lead. Should we have a go at putting it into context with a piece of music?
Let's do it. So let's put these two ideas into practice, starting with the dynamic globe first. We're going to use Benjamin Britten's Abram Brown, an oldie but a goodie from the original Benjamin Britten Friday Afternoons, available on the website, on the song bank. Here is our brilliant choir. 1 and 2.
Old Abram Brown is dead and gone, you'll never see him more. He used to wear a long brown coat that buttoned down before.
So much power and so much concentration has happened. They're already in charge of their dynamics in a different way because, as we said earlier on, they're having to think about airflow as a result. And the best thing about this is that you can transfer the skills. Get some of your naughtiest kids involved here as the conductor. It's so much fun. One more time. 1 and.
Old Abram Brown is dead and gone, you'll never see him more. He used to wear a long brown coat that buttoned down before.
So much fun. Have a go.
Okay, let's have a go of the same exercise but using our vocal amplifier. What I'd like you to do is imagine that we've got a guitar amplifier and that we're going to decide what 1 sounds like on that volume amplifier. So on this note, can you sing me your shared 1? Off you go.
1.
Beautiful. What do you think 5 might sound like? Same note, but a 5. Off you go.
5.
A strident 5, I would say. What about a 10?
10.
Glorious. So all the increments in between, I'm just going to show you numbers with my hand. We're going to sing the same phrase of Abram Brown, but you're just going to respond. I'll try and be kinder than Dominic was to us. Here we go.
Old Abram Brown is dead and gone, you'll never see him more. He used to wear a long brown coat that buttoned down before.
And again, get your students to take turns at leading. All they need is to be able to show the numbers in any way that they can and guide their class through and just have fun with it.